President Trump working hard to get conservatives in the yes column and get the GOP bill to repeal and replace Obamacare through the House tonight. The chairman of the House Freedom Caucus says he is optimistic a deal could be reached now.
I'm really optimistic that we can get there. I mean, there's still a lot of details to work out, Sean, and so to say that we've got a deal, that wouldn't be accurate.
Did you guys have a meeting of the minds, agreement in principle?
The president and I came to an agreement in principle. I think what we're trying to do now is to make sure that our agreement is actually something that can be executed in a way that passes the Senate.
So is Meadows speaking for that Freedom Caucus? Is there progress? Will we see a vote tonight, and will it get through? Let's get a key member in here, this discussion right now. Chairman Emeritus of the House Freedom Caucus, Republican Congressman from Ohio, Jim Jordan. Always a pleasure to have you on the show, sir. Do you agree with what we're hearing from Meadows? Do you believe that you're close? Do you believe you can get it through?
Well, yeah, we'll see. I mean, we've been clear from the get-go. Our focus is to repeal Obamacare and bring down the cost of premiums for middle-class families across this country. So we want to bring back affordable insurance. That's what we're focused on doing. I think there's progress being made, but we'll see if we can actually get an agreement that's going to do what we've always had as the goal. And frankly, as we've said before with you, what the American people sent us here to accomplish, which is repeal it and bring down the cost of insurance.
One quick follow. Do you think that some of the gives that were just put into the bill in the last couple of days to help with people like you, like making it not mandatory to cover certain conditions, do you think that could have a balanced effect? Helps with you, hurts with these so-called moderates?
No, I don't. I think what we're looking for and the language you want inserted into the legislation is going to bring down the cost of insurance. I mean, think about where we're at right now. People are paying unbelievably high premiums, and if they can afford that, they probably can't afford the deductible that goes with it. So we want to change that. You can't change that if you don't get after the mandates and regulations that are part of Obamacare, and that is the key to bringing down the cost. That's why we've been so focused on it throughout this debate.
All right, caucus is meeting with the president, we're told, again today. Do you expect a vote tonight?
Well, again, we'll see. I mean, it's got to meet those requirements because, I mean, I keep coming back to this. That's what the American people elected us to do. That's what they sent us here to accomplish. That's what the campaign was about in 2010, 2014, 2016. So we have to deliver on that fundamental promise, that fundamental contract we have with the American people. So if it does that, we'll be for it. If it doesn't, we won't.
But is it worth it to you to compromise the president's self-described need for a win? If he doesn't get this vote, or if the vote doesn't go through and this has to go further into reconciliation, it's a big loss for him. Is it worth it to you to give the president a loss?
No, that's not how we look at it. That's never been the focus. The focus is the American people. The focus is the families in the 4th District of Ohio who elected me to come do what I told them I was going to do. That has always been our focus. That has always been our objective. That has not changed. If we can get that agreement that accomplishes that simple objective, that basic objective, we'll be for it. If we can't, we won't. That's just how we look at it, because that's consistent with what the American people elected Republicans to do.
Understood. Other topic for you this morning, Congressman. Devin Nunes, he gets some intel that you could argue isn't revelatory and maybe not even new. But what he did was new and perhaps revelatory. He goes to the White House, skips over his own committee co-chair and the members, and basically tries to help the White House spin its own narrative about what wiretapping means. Do you believe that he can lead what's supposed to be an independent investigation after that move?
I do. I think he simply shared with the commander-in-chief the fact that people in President Trump's transition team had information that was gathered when they were working there at Trump Tower, when they were accomplishing their goal of transitioning to our new government. I think the key thing to remember in this is information that Congressman Gowdy unveiled at or in his analysis and questioning brought forward at the hearing earlier this week. There is a finite number of people who had access to unmasking American citizens' information. Right. Finite number. And with his questioning with the FBI director, I think he pointed this out very clearly. Who are those individuals, and are you going to find out who, in fact, leaked American citizens' information to the press? That is that's a felony, 10 years in prison. Who, in fact, did that? So I think that's an important issue, as well as letting the commander-in-chief know, in fact, what happened during that transition time period.
But we don't know that the commander-in-chief didn't know. This isn't new information. We know Flynn was caught up in the surveillance of the Russian ambassador exactly this way. But what was done politically, Trey Gowdy's making his point, leaks always matter. They matter more to you when you're hurt by them in your role there in politics.
They matter all the time because it's a crime, Chris.
Right,
That's
but I'm saying
Mr. Gowdy was
politics
pointing out.
only get loud and proud. There's selective outrage on this issue, and we both know that. But let's put it to the side. What Nunes did, how do you see that as advancing this investigation independently, as opposed to just helping the White House give the president an ability to say, I was right?
I think the chairman of an important committee who's doing a good job conveying important information to the president and to the American people, plain and simple. Should
you
the
ever heard of
investigation
one
continue?
doing this
Yes.
before? You ever heard of this happening before?
You ever heard of someone leaking important information about a crime and important people in the White House? Some of those same
Yes.
names that Mr. Gowdy brought forward.
Yes.
Same names we've dealt with in the Benghazi committee, like
Yes.
Susan Rice, like Ben Rhodes.
Yes.
That's important information too. And what Mr. Gowdy was trying to get at with the FBI director is, are you going to investigate those particular people and find out who in fact leaked this information?
Okay. Congressman Jordan, you got big things on your plate. Appreciate you coming on New Day to discuss them.
Chris.